Good morning still for another 7 minutes. Thanks for being here and eating our food. Absolutely. We love to sponsor your lunch, and anyone who's watching at home, next time come in, you get free food, you know? So my name is Jason. I am the owner of Hit Print. Samantha is hiding in the back here. She is our business development manager and really your go-to person, kind of like you have your escrow partner and your title partner and you have your lender partner. We are your print partner, and Samantha is your go-to. So anytime that you have an idea and you don't know where to go, even if it's not printing related, reach out to us because we work with a lot of agents. So we see things that are working, we see things that are not working. And so we'd love to partner with you on just everything and be your go-to resource for marketing in general. So I wanted to, we have a program that we've officially launched. I talked about it last time we sponsored lunch, and that is our automated farming program. So obviously farming is crucial if you like to door knock and represent a geographical area. And there's one thing that's really, really important about farming. To be successful at farming, you have to be this one thing. Anyone have any ideas? Anyone who's not Samantha? That's the one for a $10 Starbucks gift card. Oh. Thanks, Sebastian. That's the one. That's the one. Of course you want it. Yeah, tear it in half. Yes, consistency is key. And what we've come to realize, especially as real estate agents, you are either bogged down, you don't have the time, you don't have the knowledge on what to send, when to send, how often to send, what to design, or maybe you don't have the money yet. Either you're a brand new agent or you're spending marketing dollars on other things. And so no matter what your issue is, it boils down to one of those three things. And so we've created this program to eliminate as much of those as possible. So the fact that it's automated will save you time. We give you a better deal because it's a package deal, so you'll save money. And as far as knowledge, we handle it for you. So we have all of the templates for the whole year lined up already, and it gets branded to you. And then the backside is a market update for whatever area you want to farm. And we pull the data and we input the data every month. So you literally do nothing. You're completely hands off once you order the package there. So let's see if I can do this. I have this quick video that I like to show you guys if I can figure it out. Don't be upset, I'm not an Apple person.
Real estate farming is an effective means of prospecting and developing a consistent source of seller and buyer leads. This sounds easy and wonderful, but farming also requires a high level of organization and, more importantly, consistency. The more consistent you are, the better your ROI will be. But let's be honest, you're busy. You're out in the field showing properties, talking to your sphere of influence, and giving your clients the very best service possible. How can you possibly do all of that and send out unique farming collateral that's jam-packed with value and market data consistently? The answer is you can't, on your own, that is. With our farming tool, Farming 5, powered by Hit Print, you can get our high-converting, pre-designed farming collateral consistently and automatically delivered to your farm. We offer affordable options for your automated farming needs that are customized to your brand. This allows you to focus on your client relationships, follow-ups, and all of the daily tasks associated with being a top agent. Our program is simple. First, you choose your farm area, then choose the frequency of sends, then choose from a plethora of templates, and that's it. Our templates are designed for the solo agent, real estate teams, or even co-marketing options with your favorite lender. Our conversion-focused postcard designs will have your phone ringing in no time. You owe yourself a commitment to success for your real estate business through our automated farming program. Get noticed by your neighbors today for as little as $80.38. Fill out the form below to discuss your options with a farming expert.
So that's the video. I figured that is the best way to explain everything in as short amount of time as possible. But again, being consistent, having eye-catching designs and the know-how and what to send and when to send it. So we've put one of these in each of your inboxes that you guys never check. So if you don't know where they are in the back over there. Make sure you grab one. We have templates for co-marketing. So if you work with a lender that splits the cost with you, we can work with you on that. And like you saw in the video, and it's a very specific number, it's as low as $80.38 per month if you split that with your lender. And I'm sure you have a great title person. Hi, you should be coming in. Oh no, she's really, yes. So if you have your own title person, we can work with their list. If you don't, we can obtain a list for you as well and get all of that handled for you. Besides farming, just so everybody knows, we do everything. So we try not to say no. If we can figure it out, we do it. So that's presentation folders, signs. If you want a custom key that says, you know, we sold your house with your name and your team name, maybe a QR code on there, we can do pretty much everything. We even have a lender in Riverside that makes coffee sleeves. He partnered with a coffee shop in Riverside. And so now the coffee shop doesn't have to pay for the sleeves, and it's a co-marketing thing. So we put their logo on the front and his logo is on the back. So we can even do that. I mean, we can pretty much do anything. Like I said, we want to be your go-to resource. Our philosophy is the more successful you guys are and the more business you have, the more marketing you're going to do. So it really makes sense for us to make sure that we're putting out the best product at the best price, because then you guys win and then ultimately we win. So we'd love to be your print partner for everything that's business cards. We even have a custom listing sign that I would highly recommend. I know Gabriel McKnight started picking up on that, but basically your information is still on the sign. But if you think about it, you're selling the house, not yourself, right? So if we put pictures of the house, we put a QR code with more pictures with your info, you're selling the house. And I guarantee you, if you want to stand out in your listing presentation, that's something that you bring up. I think it's $79 or something like that for a custom listing sign, and we have it next day for you. That is going to set you apart from other listing agents. Yes. Yeah, we're very quick. We do about 90% of what we do is in-house right here in Lake Elsinore, and we have all the equipment there. If anyone ever wants a tour, let me know. I love showing off all the stuff that we can do. We're happy to do that as well. One more thing. I know you guys have Mega Camp, right? Is that what it's called? Coming up. So we have a special for you. Obviously, you're there to mix and mingle and learn, but referrals are a huge resource for you guys, right? I mean, that's free money when those referrals come around. So we have a deal for you guys right now. We really and truly are not making money on this. I want you guys to get business from it. So we're going to make these little 3-inch by 3-inch size business cards with a V-card QR code on the back that you guys can hand out. So there's for 250 cards, it's $25. And we'll include the design, we include the QR code, we include the whole thing. So contact Samantha and we'll get those going for you guys. Yes, so it'd be awesome. And then the last thing is, I don't have any here, but there's a brochure that's floating around. This is a business pack that we put together. There's some real estate stuff in here, so if you find this useful for you, it's a small business bundle, and then we're also offering $250 off this bundle right now. So it's $4.99. You can choose 3 standard items, or you can trade in 2 standard items for a premium item on the back. So if you find any of that stuff useful, then we can knock that out of the park for you as well. God bless you. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so if you look on the inside, these are all the standard items. And then on the back side, there are premium upgrades. So for $4.99, you can choose 3 of the standard items or 1 standard item and 1 premium item. And it's $4.99. That includes the design as well for any products that you get. Yeah, thank you. Great question from the young lady in the back here. Yeah, so again, we can pretty much do everything. So we do a lot of vehicle wraps. We can do even just the back window is $250, including the design and installation. So if you want your name and lights on the back of your vehicle, that's a really inexpensive way to get your name out there. So again, we can pretty much do anything. Any other questions or?
The price for each individual standard item?
If you want any individual pricing, just reach out to Samantha. Yeah, so she'll be your go-to on that. And that's actually the shop number. You can call there. We could transfer you to her line. Yes. There you go. We can do business cards normally same day or next day. Yep. Oh, Samantha's going to leave her business cards on the lunch table? Okay. Door hangers are normally take us a couple days. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we can do door hangers, mailers. Yes. Yes, Samantha, do you want to give her a card too? That's it. You're welcome. Yes.
You know what's funny here? A lot of the when I go to my family sounds like when I drive into Canyon Lake.
Yeah.
And I never realized until that aerial view that
You're welcome. Okay, no, understand. Yeah.
And then you guys do like the alternate picture.
We have a whole graphic design team on staff, so every day we want to provide her. If there's something in Canada or whatever that you want to send over, we can do that.
That's all. And then I was hoping to get up in the morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sophia, so Hipprint did a deal for our office for Mega Camp. Will you explain what it is again with the QR code?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Will you explain this? Will you explain the QR code?
Yeah, so it's a 2.5 by 2.5 size for referrals. There's a QR code on the back of the card, so if they scan it, it'll stay their phone number and whoever they give it out to. So 250 cards for $25. So I'll include the design, QR code, the whole thing. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I know like a lot of our agents, it's not 12 here, right? Oh, it is 12. Okay, cool. How's it going? All right, Tonja, want to come first? You guys, let's start. Let's give a. So we have a bunch of people online that still want to come in person. We're live, online. Respect decisions. I'm gonna mic you up because I talk loud anyway. So you go ahead and have a seat. Mic you up, and then here you go.
Oh, lovely.
There you go.
Me and my non-like being on camera.
You do not like being on video.
No, I don't even like taking pictures. Okay. Okay. Oh.
All right. I'm just gonna begin. So how's everybody doing? Good? Good. So we have some guests in the audience too that are not KW yet. So welcome, Ryan and Herman. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. 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 And thank you everybody for coming in person. And those of you online, thank you for being here for yourselves. I think we need to move the camera this way, Lord. Thank you for being here on live or in person for yourselves. A little bit about Tonja. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna do interview stuff. We're gonna share her story and her secrets and tips of success, because success doesn't happen overnight, right?
No.
No. And last month, in just 1 month, you sold over 9 million in volume.
Mm-hmm.
And year to date, you're at what? Since January?
17, right under 17.
Right under 17
16.8
million. Wow. Who would like to sell 9 million in a month? Right? That's awesome.
Big business.
And how much did you do last year?
Last year I did almost 28 million. So we're already more than halfway there in 2 months of the year. So
Wow, awesome. So for a lot of people that do not know you, what did you do prior to real estate?
okay, I was worked at the grocery store for 14 years, moved to Vegas because they closed down, and then I was a cocktail waitress out there for like 9 years for Steve Wynn. And then real estate. That's it. Only 3 jobs I've ever had.
Ah, so you started off in the grocery store. So you stayed committed. That was a long time to stay at the grocery store.
Mhm.
So you stayed there, and then you went to Vegas and became a cocktail waitress.
Yep, and that was fun. That was a fun job. That's a really
And
fun
you made
job.
some good tips too, no?
Yeah, that was a really fun. That was the most fun job I've ever had.
Well, you don't real estate's not that fun? I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm just kidding. Oh, that's awesome. And then I remember when I first met you too, you did like mobile bartending too, huh?
Yeah, so then I would, because real estate crashed and when the market was tough and I lost my house, there was a crash and everybody else did too. I bartended private parties and events and also did real estate full time. So I do open house, have to do them early, go bartend these parties, get home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up, unload my truck, get my open house signs in there, and off I go again. So it was a constant hard work and battle.
So you're like grinding.
Mhm.
So you're doing bartending overnight and then hustling straight to open house signs early in the morning. So that's a lot of sacrifice.
It is. I'm single, so it's easy.
Okay, so you started off as a single agent. When you got into real estate, you were with a different company, and how did that go? How many years did you? How was your first year?
They're not here anymore, so I can just say who it was. I started off at Tarbell. At that time, they were very good with training in the beginning. But they didn't grow. Problem is, as you grow, you got to be with a company that can help you grow or allow you to grow. And my growth was stunted there, so I had to leave.
Well, how much did you sell in a year typically at that time? When you first
I had a business partner, and we were the top team. You were number 6 in the company, mind you. It was big enough to fill up the Honda Center when we had award shows. So kind of give you an idea when they were at their prime. And we closed 6.7 million as a number 1 team. So I'm kind of joking about that. We thought we were, top agents. And then I split my business relationship, and that next year I closed almost 12 million on my own as a solo agent. I realized I was being held back because I didn't have the right structure. But then my growth stunted from there.
So were you hitting like that? Was that your typical every year for a while?
No, that was the first time, and then I bounced to Keller Williams.
Awesome. So
because they didn't have the tools to get me where I needed to go.
And tell me your Keller Williams story. Like, who brought you to KW? How'd you hear about it?
So Sophia had me in a group of everybody's from different brokers, and they some of them still are, most of them still are, and we still meet like 8 years later. So basically, she's never recruited me. She's never asked me to come to Keller Williams, but I went to the president of my old company and asked if they were going to teach us how to build teams, teach us this, and they said absolutely not. And I'm like, ooh, okay, well, what's next? So went to talk to her, and it was a Tuesday, and she said, what are you doing Thursday? I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm working. That's what I'm doing. Well, hold on a minute. And she comes back, she goes, you're going to New Orleans. I'm like, I'm going to New Orleans. She goes, yeah, get a plane ticket, let's go. I'm like, well, where are we going? She goes, family reunion. I was like, family, what's that? Just don't worry about it, just go. So I went, and I felt like I had blinders on for the last 12 years of my business. Like, my old company didn't want me to see that there's a bigger world. And when I got there, I got to see how big you can be in real estate instead of just being an agent that's running around with your head cut off every single day doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I realized that I can grow a business that's scalable to as big as I wanted or as small as I wanted.
Awesome. And I like to bounce back and forth the stories here. So now, fast forward, you just open your own office in Norco, right? Again, get opportunities at Keller Williams. So you have to have a certain production level to be able to open up a mega agent office. And so I sell mostly Norco, and the Norco office is it's consolidated to Riverside. That's way far from me. And I was at the Corona office, which is far as well, but my business is Norco. None of my clients are going to go there, and they're not going to go here. So I had the opportunity to buy a commercial property that I was selling. And so I just ended up buying it, and I opened it up in January, and it's been awesome. Awesome. Waving for those of you online, we're waving at all the people coming in. Oh, on the realtor on time, right? Look at my friends. Your friends are here. Yeah, my friends are here. So you had an opportunity and you bought it yourself. Yeah, I was trying to sell it for a year, but all these contractors want to come in, and Norco wouldn't allow that. So I don't know. I got lowballed on it, and then Century 21 Old Time closed down on the main street where the heart of Norco is. And I'm like, well, there's no real estate office here. And Keller Williams Norco's satellite. It's a business center now. So why not be the only real estate office on the main highway in Norco? Wow, So I applied with the region to get approved for it, and thankfully I did. So yeah, and I no doubt you would too. So. That's awesome. So how big is the facility now? And we can go visit you, right? Oh, it's really cute. It's really cute. It's, I don't know, it's about right under 1,000 square feet. So there's really mostly 4 of us that work out of there on a regular basis. So it's just us. But our first walk-in was huge. The guy walks in and says, it was late at night. It was dark. I'm getting in the parking lot. And he's there. And he's like, are you open? And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, we're open for you. He goes, well, I got these 2 houses I'm building, and I want you to sell them. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll sell them for you. And we discussed that. He goes, well, I got 15 condos I'm building as well in Costa Mesa, and I want you to sell those too. Wow. So, that was my very first walk-in, which I think is pretty amazing. So I'm looking forward to doing business with him. Wow. How many of you guys would like someone to call you and say I'm selling 15 units? And mind you, those 15 units are like $1.2 million each when they're completed. So, or 1.3. So you're absolutely crushing it now, and I know I have a lot of agents that are here and watching this video that are in their early stages of their career. What did you do at the time? What did you do now that's different than you did at the time that you wish you would have done sooner?
Well, I got a coach. I think.
Maps coach?
Yeah, Maps coach like 2017, I think it was in 2017. I wish I would have come sooner, but you know, everybody's at their own due time. And so it was the right time for me to grow. Always learning. I'm always learning. I'm always flying out of state to go learn something from a different Keller Williams. I pick and choose what I want to use from learn from my business where I want to grow my business. So, first started with family reunion, then I wanted to build a team. So I took team building stuff. So I'm always constantly changing. Like I went to take coaching. So not that I'm going to be a coach yet, but in the future I will. And that actually helps with team building. And so I went and took coaching classes. And so just always constantly learning and bettering yourself. I mean, you can never know it all in real estate, ever.
So I don't think you've ever missed a family, right? Since you've been with Keller.
No, I have not.
Do you think
It's a must.
flying out to these trainings are worth it?
100%. You can only, I always suggest when you go to those big events, mega camp, family reunion, Masterminds is coming up as well. I don't know if you guys know that. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. I really want to go to
For the
Nashville.
Maps coaching clients. You guys
Is it
know
only
about
for
that?
Maps?
I think
No,
they're the ones that get the emails. It's open to
Oh
everybody.
yeah, it's open to everybody.
It's
So
open to
it's in April. It's in April. But anyways, get one thing and use that. Don't get it's overwhelming. Even if you take like a class locally here, it's overwhelming. You take one thing and work on that, maybe two things. Take something from it to use.
Some good advice, because how many of you guys can take a bunch of notes and then you go back home and you're like, okay, where do I go from here?
A lot of the stuff that I've learned, like one of the first few classes Sophia took me was 2016 to Washington and then Portland. And that stuff's 2016. I'm just now in the last 2 years using the stuff that I learned then. I wasn't ready for it then, but I needed to know what I needed to do when I was ready to use and utilize that as I'm building my business.
Yeah. So you kind of like, I've heard even Sophia say, like, you start with the end game in mind.
Right.
So you knew you wanted to build this big business, and even though you weren't there, you still sacrificed, made the time to go there. What did you do with your business when you traveled to these places? Did you leverage it out when you're solo?
So at the time I didn't have any agents on the team. So I would go to a friend of mine who's, an agent and say, hey, I'll pay you $25 per door to show property. And then if they, if you have to do anything more than that, I'll give you X amount of dollars if you have to write the offer for me while I'm gone and so forth. Always have someone that you trust that's not going to expect a commission from you to help you. So I'm sure all you guys got a friend in real estate. It's like, hey, I'm going to leave town. Do you mind, showing my clients for this? But definitely pay them for their time and gas, because it's just only fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you return the favor for them if they leave town. Someone who you can totally trust.
Keyword return the favor there.
Mhm.
All right, guys. No, that's cool. So going back into what your business models were, one thing I love about you and I've always known about you is that you're unapologetically you. Like, some people think that you have to be a certain way, attack a certain amount of client. What advice do you have for that?
Be you. If they don't like it, that's not the client for you to work with. So I'm well-rounded. You also have to know how to mold and be a chameleon with your clients. So me working in the casino and the grocery store, I know how to talk and read different people. I tend to do better with more, if they're like super, super bougie, I don't do as well with those people. So that's just, but not that I can't, be Miss Professional and switch it up and stuff, because I can mold into my surroundings.
She's too real to be fake.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm too real to be fake. So you just, you just have to, like, if you have a hyper client, maybe you need to take it down to take them down. If you just have to kind of feel out how your clients are and mold and mesh with that. So
So a lot of your business is it mainly listings or buyers? Like, is it pretty 50-50 at this point?
mostly, well, my agent came on full time in May. So since she's come on full time, I've just been giving her all the buyers. I don't have time for them. So I get the listings, and from the listings, I get leads from the listings. Then I pass those off, to the team so that they can work those. And I have a hard time of letting things go. I have a hard time of, letting the control go and leveraging and stuff. But honestly, I'm at the point where I don't want any of them. Just here, go, 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 go. And then I did something for the first time. I knew that I had too many listings. I think we had like 18 listings in January.
Woo!
And unfortunately, it's a lot. There's a lot of listings. But unfortunately, in most of my listings, I have to physically be there because I sell ranches, horse properties, and they got animals, and I gotta manage the animals and so forth. So it's a lot for me to get the properties even prepped. So I told my agent, Alicia, hey, you know what, I'll pay you a referral fee if you can manage that one listing for me, all right? So I do the negotiation, but everything else, I need her to go be there for the showings and, you know, go do the disclosures and all that stuff. Like, I just didn't want to do it, and it worked out really good. So I'm gonna be doing that more. Because it's, yes, I'm giving some money up, but at the same time, it's allowing me to get more listings.
It's allowing you to service your
And
clients
service the
better,
clients
giving
better.
us- I know a lot of agents struggle with balancing several buyers at a time, and they're
It's
always,
hard.
they're afraid of letting them go. And then what I see happen sometimes is they end up losing that relationship because they can't service them all at 100%,
Mhm.
right? So,
And that's happened to me multiple times. Lack of follow-up.
like a follow-up.
Lack of follow-up is huge.
So is it communication on like your end, or what advice do you have to really get overwhelmed?
You guys, sometimes you feel like you're bugging people, and that's kind of how I used to be. Oh, I don't want to call them too much. Oh, I don't want to bug them, but you're not bugging them because the next person will. And Gary Keller said, you were in the class with me the first day in the leadership. Yeah, he was saying, be the first one. Always be the first one. You have to be the first one. You have to be quick. So because the next person's going to come around and you're going to lose that. So I'll look through, like I have 3 files that were sitting on my desk in January, and I didn't get those listings because, you know what, I didn't follow up. I wasn't quick enough calling them back, and they called somebody else. So I said I was going to give them a CMA. I said I was going to go buy the house. Then I just forgot. So.
And you know what I love about how honest that you're being right now? I don't know if you guys noticed, but she's at such a high level of production, and you still have slip ups.
All the time.
So don't focus so much on being perfect. A lot of people want to perfect the presentation before. I need this perfect before I even go. I need my buyer's presentation perfect, square one. They spend a lot of time on these small things instead of just going out and getting the business sometimes, right? Who's been guilty of that? Who's been guilty of just focusing, getting ready to get ready. But as you guys can see, one thing I love about you is, like Gary Keller says, that you have to fail your way to success, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly still growing, and I think it's refreshing to hear, even for me, like at such a high level that you're producing, that you still drop the ball sometimes, and that's okay, right? Because you're constantly, your business is constantly going to be shifting, constantly going to be changing.
My coach made me feel better about it. He did a spreadsheet, and it's opportunity lost. So every time I have an opportunity lost, I put in the commission, and he's like, yeah, well, that's how much money you lost this year. So last year it was over $100,000. So, you know, it's when you do it that way, it really hits you like, oh, wow, gosh, if I would have just picked up the phone, or if I just would have went and previewed that house when the seller told me, yeah, I got tenants over there, go see the house. Yeah.
Gotta do the heart.
I think that's a good,
I really like that.
I think that's a good idea. I don't think I've ever tracked opportunity lost.
You should.
Well, because when you're competitive, you're gonna see it.
Yeah, you'll see it. I'm a competitive
So
person.
let's be honest, how many of us, it happens here, but how many of you guys have, I say it every single time, how many of you go on Facebook and see your family or friend bought someone else?
Yeah.
And if you would have just called them, we get angry, but at the same time, did you call them? Did they even know you're a realtor? I think picking up the phone is the biggest lesson, because I know you call. That's what I love about you. What I love about Tonja is, like, I'll text her something, and she'll call me immediately, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I don't like all that texting all the time.
Yeah, she like calls and she picks up the phone. I think that makes a big difference.
Huge difference. And speaking of that, I know all of us are experiencing this right now, the whole text only thing, like these listing agents that are text only, redirections, follow directions. You guys pick up your phone. If you're a listing agent, don't be that jerk, really don't, because that makes a difference. Like there's a listing that I got, and the agent, she barely showed the house. And then I called her to ask her some questions. She didn't know what I was calling about. Well, what do you want? Well, what's this regarding? Like, she doesn't know what I was calling about, and never actually picked her phone up to find out what I wanted. So, and it's very offensive. And then on a flip side, someone I know, again, follow directions, but friends with us, they're friends with my agent, and, kind of rude to her, follow directions, but then they call me and ask me for help. I'm like, oh, but do you remember when you did this to my agent? So I'm not going to help you. Like, maybe I shouldn't have, because we remember those things. We remember those things. And I'm like, but you're always calling, ask for my advice and ask for my help. But at the same time, you treat my agent like this. And it has to go both ways. If you want help, you need to help us too. So, be that agent that picks up the phone, because your clients may have a friend who's going to call just to see if you're picking up your phone. Never think about that.
It's a good lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
And they have sometimes those clients, I know they have friends and family pop in open houses too. Let's have that happen.
Mhm.
You guys will never know. They're not going to tell you.
I'm gonna tell
But
you.
it's always be on point and on game, right?
Mhm.
So what happened? I know there's a big shift because you've always crushed it since as long as I've known you.
There's a huge shift.
But I know there's a big mental shift and a bunch of growth. What do you like attest that to? Or
I mean, you know, honestly, as Sophia and Cherno and Marlene, as Loretta, I had a lot of fun in 2020. I kind of stepped back a little bit, made $100,000 less in income because honestly, I had fun. But having fun from that, you know, I created a roller skating group, golf cart group, all this fun stuff during COVID. And that actually created a community for me. So I was having more fun playing in Norco with people I didn't know since we couldn't do open houses. I was having more fun playing around than actually working. So I started off really bad in 2021. But the moment I decided to buy this building, I was going to have to borrow money from someone maybe around here and to buy the property. And I didn't want to partner or borrow from anybody. So I just put my, as Sophia always says, head down, mouth shut, like put the blinders on at this point, head down, mouth shut and work. And so I had a goal in mind, which was buying this commercial property. And every single month, I started in May and then I turned my P&L to the lender and he's like, oh, you're short like $40,000 this month. You got to make $40,000 next month, plus the additional that I needed to qualify. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to go work harder the next month. Well, you're short about $7,000. Oh my God, I got to do this again. So I had to work harder in order to do that. And I actually ended up being able to close it without borrowing money. So, so it was barely made it. And then I'm worried, am I going to have money to fix the building now? Again, I got to work harder. Because I got to pay cash for all this stuff. You know, I don't charge anything. I don't acquire debt. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get this building up and going. So that was my motivation. I don't have children, so I don't have that big why. You know, my big why, I guess, is everybody on my team to make money and getting them to build the business so that they can live their life the way they want. But also the building gave me that motivation. So but my
I know you also dealt with a lot of stuff personally. You said I could ask you too.
Yeah.
Like, with health and
yeah, a lot of stuff.
I mean, would you like to talk on how you overcame it too? I know you just had surgery.
Yeah, I just honestly, like, since 2016 has been like a battle for me. I had pneumonia for 2.5 years from a moldy house. And then, I finally, 2020 and right when COVID hit, I finally like felt better. And then, then I just pulled my hamstring, couldn't walk for, for like a year. It's always constantly limping. And then I'm finally better. And then, now I'm getting this building. I get my keys to the building. I get COVID. We got really sick for October. All of October, we were down for the count, me and my agent. So that was really hard. And then I'm back up running. And then I got cancer from here and here. So I have 10 stitches I had here. Just still healing. I just had it last month. So
yeah, she had facial cancer. She just had surgery.
So it's just a constant like roadblock. And I just keep pushing through it. And honestly, that day that I had this removed, I didn't expect to be so much cut up, and I thought it was going to be small. So I actually didn't clear my schedule, and that was the wrong thing to do because constant, with 17 million in volume, it's my clients, even if I tell them, they're still calling, like, hey, I'm not available, I'm going to have surgery. But they only care about, they matter. And we all have to realize that. Something I've learned with bringing Alicia on the team full time is she's been able to sit back and listen to my conversations with people and see how I talk to people, because I can get a little feisty sometimes, or just things in general. And she's like, Tonja, they don't care about nothing that's going around in your life, anything. They want to know what's going on with their transaction in them. So just remember that. That's something that I've learned to settle down, and I'm learning from that. Yeah. And having a second pair of eyes on me, who's outside of my circle somewhat, has been really helpful.
So having like that admin help, that agent help has been.
Yeah, well, she's in the car with me. Listen, Tonja, you can't say that. You can't do this, Tonja. I'm like, why not? So it's been really helpful. And then of course I've got my back end help too with the business.
So you overcame like the fear of leverage, of hiring people.
I still struggle with it.
And letting things go.
Yeah.
You still struggle with it. What advice do you have for other people? Tell them to let it go.
Yeah, it is the best thing. So, when you get to a certain production level, I mean, when you're getting like, anywhere from 8 to 12 million, you should start thinking about hiring an admin. It doesn't have to be a full-time admin. My admin does all the paperwork. I trained her myself from day one. So she knows more than almost every agent in this office about paperwork and files. Like I trained her really, really good. So she's my back end that helps allow me to get out there and still do more business. You know, she takes not just a TC, she does more than a TC. And then I got a second person at a cheaper labor because now I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay this person, you know, paying her right now $30 an hour. I'm not going to pay a $30 an hour person to go and do errands for me or make flyers for me. So then I pay that person a different pay scale. So I have 2 part-timers to cut up the pay scale. Because you know, if you guys have someone making flyers for you, you're not going to pay them $30 an hour, you know. So so anyways, that's really helpful. And what was helpful me hiring them is that they don't need me. They don't need me because their husbands make a lot of money. So it took the pressure off me, not saying I have to have someone for 40 hours a week and pay them X amount of dollars for 40 hours a week. But they also need to be open to be able to grow into the business as we get busy. That makes sense.
Because some people, it's a big burden to have even just to have someone's salary on your hand.
Right, and you have to put them on salary, on payroll. You cannot just pay them a 1099, just so you guys know when you have an admin. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just pay you cash or I'll just pay you. No, you can't 1099 them. They're doing specific jobs and duties for you. You have to have them on payroll.
What is the growing pain that you wish you would have known sooner from growing your team
Mm.
in the beginning stage?
I need to learn. I don't know. I just need to learn to slow down. I'm not really structured. I just kind of hire as I need to go. I know my coach tells me to do opposite, but luckily for me, I've retained my people. I mean, one girl's 8 years, 4 years, 5 years. I mean, I've retained my people. So I did hire an agent. My first agent that left me, well, the only one that left me, like hurt my feelings because like it really hurt my feelings. When you lose someone, it's heartbreaking. You train them and you bring them up and they move on. Yeah, but I mean, that's part of doing business. And one thing I've learned with going to Keller Williams and all this training and stuff is that almost every single team has imploded. The entire team leaves, quits, gets fired, whatever, and they have to build it back up. I'm fortunate I haven't had to do that yet. I've only lost one person and fired one. So that's it.
You're about to get rid of another one too.
Nah.
You're constantly looking at your business, and when it comes to people that are looking to build teams, what do you look at in your team members, like as far as before you decide that you get out of partnership with them?
Looking at their background and interviewing to see what their background is like. I'm looking at consistency. I don't want someone that's had multiple jobs over and over and over and over again. Like I want consistency, and also their personality, and they have to vibe well with my team. We all help each other. Like one day I walk in the office and one of my other assistant, Susan, is there helping a brand new agent. I'm like, oh, what are you guys doing here? Are you going to be here? Like just the fact that she's just there helping, training her on something that I didn't have time to do. So, but I would highly suggest training your people because that's where I struggle. I struggle finding the time to train new agents. And so I have 2 new agents that I'm having a hard time getting them into production because logistically, if they were there every day, I can just easily pass leads out. And so of course, Alicia's sitting there or Susan's, I just pass them to them. So and I don't have the time and I feel really guilty for that. So I have to be a better leader in that way.
I really you're being so real. Like this is really real, right? And I really appreciate this because that's why I love talking to you, and I'm so glad that you came here because it's being honest. Even Sophia's really honest. If you're not working, you're not going to get paid. Like there's no false illusions of a magical pretty pony. So you're going to sell 9 million, it's going to be perfect in a month. Like it's not, and it's something you have to constantly work on. Here's my motto, and Marlene's heard me say this before. If you don't have stuff in escrow, you do not deserve the weekend off, and you do not deserve the time off. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. If you're not making the income, if you don't have anything in escrow, you did not earn the right to take the weekend off or even a day off. That's just my motto. So That's the mindset that you have,
Not-
which is, I mean.
Yeah,
it's
not
fine.
everybody wants to go make the amount of money I'm making or the amount of deals I'm doing. Everybody has a different lifestyle, and that's fine, what works for you. But if you need to make the money to pay your bills and take care of your family, then your family's gonna have to understand that you're gonna be giving up your weekends. I have not had a day off since June, guys. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm mentally spent and exhausted. And I'm right here. Like, I'm gonna try this weekend to take off, but it's not easy, you know. But
So you don't have a little in June.
I know I'm going there because that's last time I went was Hawaii in June. I went in Hawaii, I went in June. So it's not always easy, you know, because I don't have kids and a family, it makes it easier for me. You know, I do tell my agents that, hey, you know, maybe you need to go home and cook your husband some like dinner tonight. Like, go be a wife, like go home early, you know, because they do have, you know, children and husbands and stuff, and they can't work as much as I do. Otherwise, it's going to hurt the relationship too. But your family needs to understand, like, hey, you know what? Until I get something to escrow, I'm going to have to, like, for the next 4 weeks, work weekends every single weekend and do open house, do whatever you have to do to get those deals in escrow. If you need the money, not everybody needs the money. They got a spouse that pays their, you know, that makes enough money and so forth. So, like,
Please, just a mastermind, please add.
Tonja, explain to them, because some of the people in the room I've met with recently, and they have the same mindset right now, or they feel the same. What were your first 6 months when you joined KW and you were following me around and stuff like that? She kept, don't think she wasn't bragging and complaining, okay?
I'm like, where are we going here?
No. She's like, I'm putting all this money at classes.
Oh my God, you guys, I spent like $25,000 my first year, okay? About 20 to 25,000 between airfare, hotel room, and the classes. But it was worth it because it's setting the foundation to and the food too, yes. We're fine dining when you go to these places. But it's setting the foundation of where I want to go.
What did I keep telling you when you kept saying, hey, Sophia, why am I doing this? Like,
You're like, just listen to me, just do it. Just do it. I'm like, all right, just do whatever. You guys, if it wasn't, and I'll be honest with you, you know, like, every office pretty much runs the same. The difference for me, I could have ended up at, you know, stayed at Tarbell. I could have been anywhere, you know, even if you're not at Keller Williams, you can still take our trainings. Okay. Which is huge. And a lot of people don't know that, and they don't recruit you when you go to these classes. Okay. But had Sophia not been my mentor to tell me what to do, and I do this with people that I see can grow. I'll say, hey, you know what? You're at this point in your business. I think if you take this class, this will help you. If I feel that someone's going to grow and who can learn. And Sophia did that to me. Had she not done that to me, I wouldn't be, I mean, I'm going to make maybe $1.5 million this year in income.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I would not.
You're gonna make how much? 1.5 million?
My coach said between 1.4 to 1.8, depending on how we do.
I think you can do 1.8.
Yeah.
So I never thought I would even get to 500,000, which was my first year was there. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be a millionaire. Right.
With Tanya, I always told her, because at the time she was like, I should have done things that was younger or whatever. And I was like, she was like, what, 45-ish when she joined KW. And I said, you're never too old and it's never too late. You're not too old and it's never too late. And look at her, she just turned 50 recently and making $1.8 million in one.
I'll be shocked, guys. Like, seriously, if that really happens, I mean, the rate that we're going, and this is the total volume for the team. I don't see how it can't.
17 million so far,
yeah, I can't see how it won't. And I still can't wrap my head around that because I'm not used to that success. I'm not used to, like, seeing that, like, oh my God, like, I am kind of a badass. Like, I don't understand that, you know? So in my head, I just keep going and push it and stuff. So, but had she not told me what to do, I wouldn't be here. So, you know, again, everybody has the business somewhere, but if you're growing and you're like, you know what, I think it's time for me to build a team. I think it's time for me to learn this. Go take something that will get you there. So, like, family reunion, and one thing Sophia's like, you got a $500 budget, go do a client appreciation party. I'm like, I spent $3,000. Had fainting goats and a pony, but yeah, and I went 3,000.
So let me say, so what happens is that everybody has a gift and a way they're gonna get business. If you hate calling, then don't show yourself.
Don't do it. I don't call.
So Tanya's like, I'm not gonna, she tried. I didn't call Sophia. I said, okay, what do you, so we talked, and by the way, when I was her mentor, I was just her colleague.
And she's a friend of mine,
I wasn't in
a
leadership.
hiking friend.
I wasn't in leadership.
She's just an agent.
I was just her friend at KW. But I like to empower people around me, right? So I would tell her, Tanya, I was like, okay, so I said, Tanya, I found your niche. Because you love people, people love you, you're so lovable, you need to do events. And she had never done one. I said, you're gonna do a client event, and I said, you have a $500 budget. Go have the lenders pay, make it happen. And she came and she said, I had the client event, but I went over budget to $3,000. And I said, wait, you looked at the budget, where? She goes, I had to have fainting goats. I said, you have
And ponies and stuff. It was cute, and the kids gotta feed the babies milk. It's cute.
But it worked. One of the things I want you to know is that the lesson I want you to take here is you find your tribe. Like in here, I am your tribe. You're in business with me. If you win, I win. If you don't win, I don't win. You know, like, so understand that people around you, we want you to succeed. Because with Tonja, one of the things that even when she called me, she said, Sophia, this building, and I just told her, you're buying the building, and not I'll buy it with you. I'm buying it myself. Like, you're gonna buy this building, and I told her, Tonja, no, but I don't have enough money. I've been
Just figure it out. You're gonna do it.
All last year, I had fun. I said, look, it's time to head down, mouth shut, make it happen. If you really want this, if you really want to make $100 grand a month, you can. They said, when you decide, I had her, Tanya, worst case scenario. She said, well, you let me borrow money if I need. I said 100%. And so
Gave me that safety net.
Peace of mind that.
Peace of mind.
I said, and I had her back, but you know what? She did not want to borrow it, so she worked her ass off to get it. And you know, so it's all about your environment, your friends. Like you have people pushing you to take risks, because guess what? If she would have called the different people that are not risk takers, that are negative, that are not succeeding, they would have said, oh, getting in a $1 million building, you're crazy. And I said, Tanya, it's gonna pay for itself. Let's break it down. It's gonna pay for itself. It's gonna appreciate. It's gonna make you money. I said, and imagine people already know you because of the events. Imagine you're gonna be the only real estate office on 6th Street. I said, I promise you, the one client a month will pay for itself. And you make a profit.
It will, and I only needed to get 7 deals from there.
You have people pushing you. Who's pushing you? If you negative people remember, crabs want to pull you down because they're not succeeding. They want to pull you down.
Right.
So who's around? Like if you have those friends, do what I do. I love them, but I do not listen to what they say. I just love them and say, "You want to buy a house? Buy a house, call me." They know, but like I do not spend a lot of time with those people because honestly, after a while, it rubs off. It's contagious. Success is contagious, and so is failure. Right. Okay, positivity is contagious.
Right.
So
surround yourself with who you want to be like.
I learned that you haven't earned a day off.
I got it from her. So I'm hard on my team, guys. I tell her, you ain't taking off this weekend.
Sophia, want to go to Vegas? Come yesterday, then you can't go to Vegas. You have to cancel that.
It's the truth.
It comes from a place of love. It comes from, remember, I'm more of a doctor than a nurse, remember? Like, I'm gonna tell you straight up what's gonna happen, okay, so.
And you guys, I also want to share how Hector ended up here. He was in an escrow with me, that canceled, but I it wasn't his fault. But I saw something in him, just talking to him over the phone. I'm like, Hector, and I knew where he was at and stuff. I'm like, Hector, you're really smart. Like, you need to check this, you need to come to Keller Williams. You need to check it out because I really feel like you can, grow and stuff. So I connected him with Sophia, and then, the rest was history. And you guys have done amazing since you've been over here. So
a lot of people, even that phone call and that connection changes lives. And
I was in a mobile home for like 100,000 or something. It was
you're in a great environment, and like the grass is greener where you water it, not on the other side. So I think what I hear is that there's a lot of opportunities and classes and tools that you have. You emerged fully into KW. You have a MAPS coach. You've done all these trainings.
Having a coach is huge. How many of you, and raise your hand, do your P&Ls every month?
Be honest.
Okay.
How many of you guys have the P&L access that Bailey made?
How many of you know your net worth?
How many of you know your net worth? What is it?
I keep telling them about it.
It's $750,000.
That's good. How many of you put all your receipts in a shoebox and at the end of the year count it up so you can do your taxes? You got to stop that. The biggest thing, I know, the biggest thing I ever did was get a bookkeeper who follows the MREA, and to really my coach made me do this, and knowing your numbers, and like, how do you know if you're profitable in your business? Do you guys know the percentages of where you guys need to be profitable in each category? Like, knowing that stuff is huge for your business to know if you're going over budget. I usually over budget on lead generation because as they know, most of my business, a lot of my business derives from social media. So I do a lot with social media and events and stuff. So that's all quote lead generating. So so I'm always like over the
You're doing it
percentage.
at a really high level.
High level.
So
yeah.
give us some examples of that, because I know they're gonna ask anyways when we open this up. What are some examples of how, you're not a cold caller, I know that. You guys
I
can
don't
do
cold
it.
call guys. I
You
can't
guys
do
can
it.
find your niche. Her niche
People.
is people. She does a lot of events, community events, client events, and you advertise them at a high level on social media. So can you give an example of certain events you've done? Tell them about the golf cart that you have.
Yeah. So I originally started in 2012, and if you're from Lake Elsinore, you know Ray Lopez. He's still
Yeah.
one day I wish he'd come here. But anyways, he was one that says, I'm absolutely not gonna do social media. I am not doing Facebook. I said, look, Ray, you've got a niche like I do. Okay, Lake Elsinore is scalable in a niche. Please let me create your Facebook for you. I will help you with it. I will help you build it. And I did, and he's very successful for where he's at, and he built that through Facebook. So at the same time, I was ahead of him. I was doing mine, and I saw the results coming through. So you have to be dominant in order to get the recognition. So Norco was easy for me to do because it's niche-y, and Lake Elsinore again, it's like that too. So then from there, just the building most of my business came from social media. I don't care about realtors being my friend on social media. I care about people I don't know. People that you don't know are more value than adding the lender, the home inspector, the realtor. Like, those people don't add value to your business, okay? And adding when you close your deal, add them as friends. I don't really do it while I'm in escrow because, like, what if they don't like me? Let's make sure they like me at the end. But afterwards, I add them as my friend on social media. And I follow them, or they add me. Like again in Norco, I see people post all the time on different stuff, so I'll add them as friends. And so
Commenting a lot. So
I comment a lot on group pages.
Don't just make them. She makes, and you don't just write a comment. Like when I see her writing,
everything's
it's
misspelled.
Like 2 sentences. It's some misspellings. Don't get me wrong. She's not for misspellings, but the iPhone will fix that. You got it. If you got an iPhone,
I got an app. I got an Android.
If you got the iPhone, it automatically autocorrect. No, but that's not the issue. But I see her, but you guys, she's writing more than just a reaction, and sounds good.
I engage.
She engaged with these strangers. I see her in those groups writing a full 2 sentences, and oh yeah, I like that too. When did you go? I don't think she cares about that dang comment at the restaurant. But she engages, and then she has full conversations in these threads.
Yeah, and that's how the business derived. So then now a lot of my people are past clients, referrals and stuff. But again, I keep in touch with them through social media. So, and then again, my groups, like I'm going to create a group today. It's going to be single ladies of Horstown. I can't use Norco anymore because it's a drug, right? So you can't search Norco pages anymore, So anything that has Norco in it, you can no longer search on Facebook. So I'm going to do single ladies of Horstown. I realize there's so many single ladies in Norco, and we all have the same struggles, because I don't know if any of you guys are single, but dating is absolutely horrible. So I'm gonna make a group for us today. I'm gonna put you, because it's not just Norco people. I'll put you on a single. No, well, you're kind of not single.
Yeah. So
You're not single. Like, wait a minute, you're not really single.
If you're not married, you're in.
I told you that the other day, you're single, but what? You're single but rich, so it doesn't matter. It's okay.
And you're single but a rich She takes herself to level,
Yeah, and I'm very cheap and frugal. Please save your money, guys. Except for me and her went wild at the jewelry mart, but that's okay.
Oh, show them. You deserve this. Like, small things.
I'm not fancy.
I think so many people are afraid to give them, to treat themselves, to give themselves.
I am. I'm very frugal. When you lose everything, you're very frugal.
I want you to share a very intimate private story, because I think it's important. I want you to tell them how you met me and how we became friends, because our relationship has been life changing for both of us.
Yeah.
I have the honor of being her mentor and watching her grow. But she's added so much love and value and entertainment to my life. I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? She's an amazing friend. She's a loyal, authentic person. And but it's important that you understand how it is that she found me, how she knew about me, how she met me. Share the story.
Yeah. So I had heard about Sophia when she had her heart attack and all that, like seen that again on social media. I heard about it through the board and stuff. And then I had a business partner at the time, and me and her were besties, and we were the top team member. So then we used to kind of read Sophia's posts, like she was bragging. We used to kind of talk a little bit of crap about her a little bit. It's like, oh, look at, she's always bragging, she's always this. But then that business relationship broke up, and I'm all depressed and boo-hooing, just like, I miss my best friend, but this didn't work out, and just depressed. And then I would watch her posts and stuff. So then one day, one of the las cholas, or whatever we call it, one of the chulas went hiking, and I went with them, and I met Sophia, and something, I don't know, on the hike we connected on the hike, because she was telling me more stuff about her. I think she had like a brain tumor, and she went through a bunch of stuff besides the heart attack. So medically. So I'm like, so now I'm still here boo-hooing, and I'm like, well, what the hell am I crying about? I'm perfectly healthy. At this point, I think I was getting back fit on that time. That's when I had lost a lot of weight and stuff. And I'm like, and I'm reading her post in a different way now, in a more positive way, that it's more, she's not bragging, she's actually trying to motivate people. And so that got me up out of bed and got me into work. And then that's, we started Facebook each other, and then started hanging out. And then she put me in our mentor group, our little Ladies of Grace, it's like 8 of us in there. So, and that's how it started. And so I turned how I was viewing something, and realized that I was making it a negative, but it was actually a positive.
And the group,
With the influence of the people around you. Remember, the people you surround yourself. Right. And that there's a circle of people, are still have the same mindset, and that's why I haven't scaled the business and stuff. I'm just saying.
it's interesting how much, but it's interesting
Maybe I shouldn't have said all that.
No, but no, seriously, it's interesting how mindset will keep you stuck. It'll keep you in that environment, and it'll keep you. I like that you said that, because one of our thing is come from curiosity. It's even in our Y4C2Ts, right? Right? You guys know the Y4C2Ts? I read them. No, but seriously, it's to come from curiosity and understand the other person. And it's interesting how when you go through a negative, when you're having a bad day, every little thing will set you off. And normally,
that was last week.
So right, like if you stub your toe, you wake up late, you're flat tire, it just automatically shifts a bit of your mindset. So a lot of things that would typically not bother you already do. So it's that way in your businesses too. And for the agents that are not, currently having an open escrow or anything like that, I'm sure it can get tough at home when they're wondering like, well, what are you doing today? It's hard for them to view you going to the office as an actual job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to convince them and talk with your partners that it is. Like the time that you put into your business is the job. It's your job to if you can't fix their mindset, is to fix your own, and to take a really deep dive and look into your environment and who you're around, because it can make or break you. I could see incredible people that I know could be top producers, and they're just not in the right environment.
Either environment, or just don't feel that they could be. If you see what you see, again, family reunion is the thing that or mega camp too opens up my mind the most. That's when I realized it's unstoppable. And when she talks about what you just said, my mom used to tell me, go get a real job, go get a job at Home Depot. I'm like, Mom, because I would like need money and help, every now when I was like new in the business. I'm like, now how am I doing now?
But that's a true story.
It is.
You first started off, you had to borrow money, you had to figure it out. And
yeah, I know a lot of people whose whose spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends think this job is just, they look down on us. They're like, oh, maybe you should do something else, never give up the fight. I mean, I went through losing everything, having to work 2 jobs to make it work. And yes, it took me, 18 years to get here, but I'm here. So, and I will be able to retire within 7 years. Wow. I'm going to be buying more commercial properties and develop them. So that's my plan, and getting that passive income. And I never had this idea. My coach told me at the beginning of last year, he told me I needed to buy something. I said, absolutely not. He says, well, why not? I said, I don't have the money. I mean, I got money in the bank, but no, I got to keep a certain amount of money in the bank. And I can't do this. I can't buy any income property. And I almost bought a duplex, and I didn't. I'm glad I didn't, because of the opportunity, the commercial property came up. So, and then here I am, that was January, and here I am May. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to buy this property. He goes, you are? And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about it, But I didn't ever think that by the end of the year, I would have purchased something that also gives me income because it has a house on it that I rent out. So
Wow.
pays for more than half my mortgage.
So a lot of it is fear of
Mhm.
hiring, fear of growth, fear of making that jump, that commitment. But on the other side of it is success. What did you say, Sophia? On the other side of fear is what? Success?
The life you want is the other side of fear.
There you go.
Remember that, like, every single human being, both is human, experiences fear. Everyone experiences, even if maybe just for less time, maybe just, but it's impossible for people not to feel it. You
Mhm.
feel it, and then you have to push through it. The life you want is on the other side of that. If you can let fear stop you, you can stay on the other side, you're not gonna get the life you want.
Another topic I do want to talk about is that you expressed that you're having a lot of fun in 2020. There's a lot of realtors that rained on top for a while, but then they step back from the businesses for a while. What
Never
advice-
step back.
But they have, and you remember how hard you were on yourself, and I'm sure they're hard on them.
I was kind of depressed for it, to be
remember
honest.
how-
I was having fun
You
though.
were still doing it.
Marlene, wasn't it? Marlene had the fun with me, wasn't it? 2020 was like the best.
The most success because with that you had your golf cart group, roller skating, and she was very clear. If any realtors got in the groups, she was like, "You cannot be here for real estate." You are
Oh yeah, because she's a realtor.
Those are my
Those are my clients. I'll let you in the group. I'll let you have that, Lorena. But you cannot approach my people.
That's the whole point, though. The whole point is that's her lead generating right there.
I got a listing last year on my golf cart, 975,000. Driving by a house again this week and coming home from I took it to open house, and guys outside talking to him. He's, yeah, I'm gonna list my house at the end of the year. I'm like, good, you're gonna hire me. Again on the golf cart, the visibility, being branded, guys. Gotta get it
The
branded.
golf cart, by the way, is fully branded. Like,
It's
has-
full-
So it's an 8-passenger limousine. Golf
And
cart.
she takes it to the bars around Norco.
Yeah, people ride. I really did. When we picked up drugs, like, oh, you want to go to another bar? We'll drop you off.
Yeah, and then she gives them a business card.
Or a bag of candy with my business cards
Yeah,
on
bag
it.
of candy with the business card.
Sophia went on one of my
Yeah,
little
I went
parades.
One time in Norco.
Yeah, I stopped by, she said, just stop by real quick. Next thing you know, I have a green hat on and I'm passing out candy. It was a great time though.
And then I think what's beautiful about this is like it's refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air because it's an example that you guys can lead generate to whatever your niche is. Like find
something you have fun
something
with.
that
You
you
love.
love. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be like what are they doing different than me? Stop.
It's not a one size fits all shoe, whatever.
I honestly stop looking at other people what they're doing. Like just focus, look internally, sit down, go away for the weekend, go to the thing, beach, you don't have an escrow anyway. Sit on the beach and really think. That's not any shade. I'm just saying, like just
It's
take
true.
yourself. Don't be depressed at home, be depressed on the beach that day, and then really think about what do you enjoy doing. Like what do you enjoy doing, and make that a niche. Like start a group. She like started rollerblading, and it's a big group. I'm in it now.
Yeah, we have
I don't talk about it.
450 people in the roller skating group. The golf cart's over 500. So I mean, and then during COVID, because nothing was open, I privately rented a roller rink in Orange County, and they allowed just my group to go. Just my group. Go rent it and roller
Like
skate.
everybody here has niches, things that you're passionate about, things that you're really good at. Like I love your posts, by the way, you're crushing it. They're doing good too. Like keep that up. Like don't give that up. Like it's
If you're-
consistent. Stay consistent with the post, with whatever it is. We have a husband and wife team back there that's doing YouTube at a really high
I do
level.
YouTube. Who does YouTube?
They do it right there. The Soto team. Say hi. Raise your
Where's the
hand.
Soto team? Oh,
Right there.
I'm
We're
so
doing
scared of
TikTok.
it. I'm scared of
We're
it.
doing TikTok
But I
and
want to
YouTube.
do it.
And it's brought you guys some transactions, right? How many deals have you gotten?
Are you the one I follow on TikTok? Who's the one I follow on TikTok?
Yeah, I think you did follow her.
Oh,
No.
there's someone in your office on TikTok that I messaged. I'm not sure who it
Yeah, it's
was.
so cool. But yeah, so you're doing it at a high level, and that's brought you into clients, right? So how many have you gotten from YouTube so far?
From YouTube, I've gotten 5 like real people, and I have 2 of them in escrow. No,
I need to
Wow,
go.
5 people.
I don't
from
like to
YouTube
be on
and 2 in escrow.
camera.
That's incredible, right?
That's
So,
amazing.
I think it's a breath of fresh air to have someone be so honest and transparent, and I think it's a gift for me. Thank you so much, as my friend, like for being so vulnerable and showing them that this is real, honest, real. You know, Sophia's real too. It doesn't get easier, you guys. It gets better, but it doesn't get easier is what I'm hearing.
No, and you have to work hard. You know, I hate the thing where it's, oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. No, I worked hard. I've sacrificed family time, friend time, time with my dog. Like I've sacrificed
Those are
time
fur babies and
to
they count.
get to where I'm at this year, especially, and it's been hard on me. It's been really stressful. So it's I get to my breaking point some days because I just want like a day or two off. But how long is this going to last? We don't know. So I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And once I get, so far ahead, I have enough money now to go buy another commercial property if I want to. So, I don't know the sacrifice. I mean, there's sacrifices that come with it. So just know what you want to do.
Does anyone have any questions? I definitely want to open this opportunity up. I don't know when we're gonna have such a high producer sit here.
Yes, ma'am.
When's our next golf cart ride?
We can do it this week because I need a break. I need a break.
Anyone curious about like the team growth, anything they're doing? She's killing it in social media.
I know you mentioned really quick, just from the worst of the agents in the office, I don't know the answer to this, but just in regard to you taking the classes, we know a lot of agents that are new to Keller Williams. And sometimes, we say we have the best technology, the best training, but who initiates that? So on your point, how you said, Sophia would tell you, go to the classes, but it takes you wanting to go to the classes. So for a lot of the agents here, they have to open up their computer, they have to go in and log in and see. So in other words, we do have the best, but you have to go and get it yourself to being able
Right.
to hold really your hand, because we're individual agents. So you can stay home and sleep all day if you wanted to, but either you want to do that or you want to work, you want to train yourself.
KW, where to find the classes that sometimes you have to fly somewhere to go take something.
Yeah.
But I think for someone who's a new agent who doesn't need an admin or anything, take business. What else is another one, Sophia? The business planning one, that would be a good one.
Clinic that we've had it here. It was on Zoom.
Yeah, I can't do Zoom. I can't do Zoom. I just can't do Zoom.
There's a bunch of free classes every month set up by Gary Keller. There's a lot of training. Hidden Connect has over 1 million videos. There's not a topic in there.
Yes, there is.
We have it in the back of our
And
calendar,
when you
actually.
need a discipline and desire to do it, I block Sundays from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's the day I go back and watch training videos. I have a time block on my calendar to get it done. Just because of where I'm at in my business, I'm very committed to that. What do you have to say to the agents that say, I don't have time, I don't have $1,000 a month to pay for a coach?
Let me tell you, again, Sophia drugged me everywhere. And one of the common things that when I would talk to these agents who've been in the business like 2 years, 3 years, and they're making like more money than me. And I'm like, what was the one thing you did when you got in the business? I got a coach. I'm like, well, why would you get a coach? How could you afford a coach? I didn't think there was any other option. And I fought it too. And when I went to Bold, when Bold comes back live, I don't really care about the online, but when it comes live, guys, make sure you take Bold. I've taken it twice and I'm going to take it a third time because you're always going to learn something different. But backtrack it. When I was at Bold is when I signed up for coaching. And that was a game changer for my business. I mean, my business has scaled so much by having coaching. And you don't have to keep the same coach for 1, 2, 3 years. Take it for you let them know where you're taking your business so they pick a coach in that line of where you want to go. So the first time it was like building a team, and then this last one I actually picked a financial coach. He's a MAPS business coach along with a coach, regular real estate coach. We've more focused on my business and going over how to get me out of the business is what we focus on. So if you feel like, hey, I want to learn something, go to Jay, go to Sophia. They can tell you what outside of the office to take.
Yeah.
It's everything's there. I think things are starting to come back. There were a lot of options before, but things are coming back, and they can help guide you. What's the next level for you?
There's a bunch of,
People say, $1,000, I can't afford that. I could have my mortgage for that. I could have my mortgage for that. Like that thinking will
never get you ahead.
I'm sorry to tell you, that's a broken.
Yeah, Hector.
Question, Tonja.
Yeah.
That coach that you have right now, is that the $1,000 coach? or
Yes.
Okay, so there's another level up.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I have that one.
I don't know about that $2,500. I got the $1,000 one.
I brought it up that we've had a coach now, the same coach for like a little over a year.
You might need a different coach.
yeah, so
You
just,
get with me, let me know where you guys, because I have a different ones that I've been through that's kind of referred me stuff to, just kind of where your business at. Honestly, like this one, I feel like has been the biggest game changer for me. So
financial planning.
What's his name?
Kyle Harrison. So
Yeah, look at this.
I'll send you
look at
guys his
this
phone
cul-
number.
Look at this culture.
And I
That's the
think
secret.
you guys are ready for him. So I'll send you his phone number.
And this is a big example. There's no secrets here. Like
With
sharing
Kyle?
your day coach
With
you guys.
Kyle, Suzanne Hove at the Corona office, I remember 2 years ago, she was struggling and stuff. And she's selling the same as me. Like she's killing it. And her team is just all of a sudden built. So, for a while there, she was kind of like down and out. It's like, I don't know, Tonja, I don't know. And then she's like, well, who do you go to your coach? And so she went to my coach. He doesn't do really like individual agents. Like he's works with people who are building an empire and business and stuff. So, but anyways, I'll send them to you guys.
I have a question. So we're at a stage where Hector's a crazy cold caller guy that talks to strangers all day, but we're really wanting to focus in on our people, like our sphere and like doing events and stuff like that. So I'm like really nervous about doing events.
Oh, don't go on YouTube, you guys. All my stuff's on YouTube. Go on YouTube, put my name in there. You'll see my little corny golf cart parades too. I have 2 more videos to upload, but I have all my events on there. So what's coming up? Spring is coming up. It might be kind of short to get a photographer to do like photos.
Tanya, in her first visit, that's exactly what she said. What did nobody come? That's $2,500.
You guys, you know what? I had 35, 40 people come, but those people from that first event, I think I got 5 deals out of it because they ended up buying, selling, refer me this, another one bought, sold. And just now, the same people who come to every single client event, I just sold their house for $745,000, their mother's house for $975,000, and the new purchase of $1.1 million. So that's 3. And I referred them to Hawaii, to our friend in Hawaii, Adrian. I referred one of their family members out there too. So just because I constantly keep up with them.
Those of you that want to do an event, like
Doesn't have to be
there's a
huge.
huge event having some of the agents are putting together here. Just remember the reason for an event, like for me, I don't have a farm and my referral business. I saw that they were from San Diego to Victor.
Not me.
That day, right?
Yes.
So I didn't want to have a client event. Then I learned at Community Mega Camp, I learned from somebody else that the reason to have an event is not for them to show up. It's just an excuse to call them, to invite them. It's an excuse to say, hey, I thought of you, Iris. I'm having a client event. Even if they never come, now you've got to talk to them. And say, hey, I'm still in real estate. I want to show all my clients appreciation. So they say, damn, this is an agent I want to work with. It gives you an excuse to get back in their connection with them, if you haven't talked to them, to come from contribution and add value. And I always make it, I had some that were brews and real estate news. Like I had a beer club.
Oh, yeah, I remember
So
that.
I had alcohol and I had like real estate news, so then they know it's for both. And then, so it's just an excuse to call people. Call them and say, hey, come to our event. And then if they come, you call them again after. You say, thank you for coming. And if they don't come, you say, sorry, I missed you. Remember, these are touches. Now you got them. Now because you're inviting them, now if you do it right, you're doing it 3 months in advance. They're getting an email once a week. They're getting e-bites where you set them up on an event, right? And they get automatically reminded a lot.
Right.
You're saying, like now you're mailing them an invitation out. You have all this. Now they're like all this reason to be in their head. So it increases your production, even if they never show up one day.
Right. Because you're in there
there
and you're in their head.
Were you at my event in Corona where literally I was there for like $300 worth of pies? Like no one came.
No.
It was like maybe 4 people came. And I had it, and never again. It was like on a Friday night, a horrible idea with traffic. And it was like the worst thing. No one came. But guess what? We divided up the pies and then we went to deliver them to the people.
There you go.
And then I just gave them away to the agent. I just gave them away. It didn't matter. The point is that I was successful at communicating with my people instead of calling and saying, someone to buy them. They get sick of those calls. This was more fun. You're calling them to add value.
It is fun, and they really enjoy it. So one of my most fun one I did is a bingo. I did bingo. I rented the American Legion in Norco. It was like $400 to lease that, and a huge thing. And then I brought food in, and then I got everybody got one drink. So I budgeted how much per ticket that they were going to charge me for alcoholic drink. So everybody got one ticket, and then I had leftover. So I gave some people like 2. And that way I know that those tickets, they were a different color. I had 2 different color raffle tickets, and then I had a green for like liquor. So the green ones, all those, that's the bill I paid. I was like, okay, I'm only going to spend $200 on alcohol. That's how many tickets I'm going to be handing out, And so it was so much fun. Like they got so serious. And you guys, I bought everything on Amazon. It was like $250. The cage, the ball, the daubers, all that stuff. I still have all that stuff for the next event. Like the sheets. It was such a fun event. So it doesn't, even if it's, like I said, 50, 60 people that come, it's okay. You got 25 people, you're touching them, they're going to remember it. I also send out birthday cards with like a gift card to Starbucks. Every single person's birthday anniversary that we remember, which is in the database. I actually got a card back for my birthday. Thank you so much for my birthday card. I'm sending you one. So, and then I had a random lady come in. I don't know who she was to this day. She comes into my office for my birthday because I posted, hey, anybody wants to come in and wish me happy birthday? Because my mom wanted to bring me punch and a cake. So, so it's my friend's drink, mom. But anyways, she lady comes in. I don't know who she was. And I was on the phone with my coach, and she brings me a bottle of wine, some flowers, beautiful rose bush and everything. And she was like, I said, well, what is your name? She goes, I'm just the smiling lady, and took off. To this day, I don't know who she is. But she goes, I want you to know that I watch everything you do on social media, and you may think people aren't watching or you're touching people's lives, but you touch a lot of people's lives and you don't even know it. And I don't know her name. I don't know who she was. So I thought that's something that really stuck with me. I was like, that's really cool and she's an older lady. So maybe she's bored at home and she's got nothing to do, but she's enjoying reading my Facebook, my social media and stuff. So
That's amazing. People are watching you.
they watch.
So refer you, Sheriffman wants to what she'll say, hey, and also with the Norco, so.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, to get a little bit deeper, so are you just afraid of having an event?
No,
Are
we're
you
doing
just-
it. Yeah, try it, but I'm.
Just call me, I'll help you.
nervous about it. What's a good event? What's the best kind?
You know what? Bingo might be a fun one because it's going to be spring now. I think it's too short to plan Easter photos, but you could do like a family photo shoot, get a photographer, go down. I don't know what you have around here, but Norco, they got the Santa Ana riverbed, makes for really beautiful photos down in the bottom at Hidden Valley. Yeah.
Bingo, what do you charge for like the buy-in?
I don't charge. This is a client event. It's free. I pay for it all.
And then, so the winnings,
There's no winnings. There's no money. There's gifts. Yeah. So when they get the card filled, I have these baskets. So like one was like a basket full of lottery tickets. Another one had Disneyland tickets in it. Another one was a Glen Ivy spa for two people. So I'm giving them back to my clients. They don't pay anything. It's a free event just for this is not a public event. This is a client event. Public event, you can do, things a little different, but this was just a client event. My pies is more public. Hey, just come by my house. Like I was on roller skates during COVID and I was like, wanted to see people. So I said, anybody in Norco want to get a pie? Come to my house. Here's my address. And I had a baby cow. I had a mini cow and my roller skates on. Yeah. So, and I have pies left over. It was, I know there's a picture of me. It's so cute. It's really cute.
I think I have it on your Facebook.
Yeah, but you could see some of these events that I do on social, on YouTube.
So any other questions?
I do. What's your approach when doing events? Do you promote yourself as an agent? How do you talk to people? Do you want to buy a seller? Or you just get their information?
None of that. No, so
She does have her logo and everything.
yeah, I'm branded. The biggest, you guys, if you're not branded, get branded. Unfortunately, Mario Vargas, I don't believe is branding people anymore. He just does photos, but I don't think he's branding people anymore. But don't quote me on that. But he's Add the Wow is his website. Get branded. My business grew when I got branded. Sophia was branded. She's like, get branded. I see Oscar Hurtola's group. They got branded. They grew. Get branded. Yeah, she doesn't know I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So all the big agents that you'll notice that are at the high producing, look at the Cochran group that we're here, branded, I mean, and I'm saying people outside of our organization, but they were in an organization and branded. So when you're branded, it is so easy to market yourself. So right now I'm getting, I got Horse Week coming up. I've got cowboy hats. They're orange with my brand. I've got horse head bottle openers. I've got cowboy boot koozies, everything's branded. Bags are going to be branded. So I'm going to be giving out a lot of stuff at Horse Week for free to anybody. So I have a booth there.
So you don't talk real estate at your event at all. You're just hanging out with your.
Absolutely not.
They just know you're amazing.
Well, because they're my past clients. Yeah. And then because I'm branded, people know now if I have an event to the public, I'm going to have my Easy Up and all my branding stuff out there. They're going to know I'm a realtor, and then we're there to just have fun to do whatever it is that we're going to do.
And you lead capture.
I've been in her house and she's had like a bucket with ice and waters, because people go down with their horse.
Yeah.
She'll put
With labels.
Free compliments of Tonja Bambrook, your favorite realtor, whatever.
Just put
she's
bottle
very
label on
creative.
it.
Constant opportunities to grow and promote her business.
Mm-hmm.
Right, she's very creative.
So she doesn't talk about business, but it's very branded.
It's same thing with the groups. I don't talk about nothing in my groups, roller skating, golf cart, about real estate, but they know I'm the realtor.
But everything you give out is branded, even at the bingo, the
Mhm.
gift bags, it's branded. And it's a tax write-off, remember? Stickers on everything, tax
Mhm.
write-off. Question?
I have a question, so if you're doing like such high volume, like what is your biggest tip for organization?
Have a team.
Leverage.
Leverage.
Admin, your admin.
What do you have put in place for that and like?
Yeah, so I have, Lisa does my, Lisa been for 8 years. She does all my paperwork. She'll call my client, say, hey, I sent this document. Now she knows what every single document is. If I need her to, if I'm out in the field, hey, Lisa, can you go ahead and write this counter offer for me? And then she'll send it so I review it before it goes off, because I'm the agent, so I need to review it just to make sure it's correct. Or she'll read it to me. I say, yes, that's fine. Go ahead and send it. So while I'm out working, she's out behind the scenes taking care of all my stuff. If my clients need to know a closing date, a contingency removal date, all that, they call her. I said, call her because I don't know anything. I'm on the road, right? So I put that back onto her for those things. And then she orders my photos, my termite, NHT, like she orders all that stuff so that I don't have to take care of that. Everything, and does more. And then Susan is my cheaper labor one. I don't know if you guys were here when I was talking about 2 different pay scales for admins. Susan does my flyers, my running around, anything. Like right now, we're getting our branding together for the event. So she's the one that's communicating with the marketing people for, like, we even got horsehead key bottle openers are super cute. Like, she's organizing all that, sending all the artwork over. She's the one that got our postcards out there, got those situated, got those, sent out because we sold like the highest comp in the neighborhood. So she's the one that's taking care of all that other back end so that I don't have to do that. And then I got Alicia for all the buyers. Here, take them. Here, take them. Here, take them. I don't have time to drive people around. And then Susan at the same time got licensed during COVID, so she can help us more. She doesn't care to do real estate, but Alicia was out of town, so she got 2 great buyers while Alicia was out of town. So Alicia's like, gosh, darn it. That's what you get for going out and having fun. So anyway, so I'll give her a client here and there because she's not real comfortable doing real estate, but it helps me out. So I'm just giving away. So I can go on listing appointments and so forth.
But the reason when you say giving away, it's you're kind of a win-win there because you're letting go.
I'm still getting paid.
Yeah, you're still getting paid. You're getting paid something, and you couldn't service them at a high level anyways because you have so many listings.
When you get so much, you can't service at a high level. I had a customer complaint. My first one is going to go to the DRE complain about me, and I'm like, really? Like, you're going to complain that I did a good job and I didn't even cuss this whole transaction? Like, I can't comprehend it. Like, and it was listed with another person for 6 months who couldn't sell it during this busy market. The listing expired in January, and I ended up doing a great job. In fact, I had my own buyer, but I told my buyer, sorry, buyer, you're going to have to wait because I've got to do open house and I've got to make sure we don't have any other offers coming in that are higher than yours. It was the asking price, but we didn't have any other offers come in. And so they're unhappy over $100. I'm like, really? Okay, I've missed that $100. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but it happens, It's like out of all the difficult transactions and stuff, and it's because the reason why I missed that $100 was because I was spread too thin and my team spread too thin at the moment. So.
That's good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
When did you know, like, okay, now I need to like get a team? Like, were you like you were falling through the cracks?
You're overwhelmed. No time for anything, but do not hire just to hire anybody when you're overwhelmed.
Career visioning.
Yeah, take career. What's your guys' volume?
Take career vision.
This year we only closed 1, but I have.
What's your volume last year?
Last year we only closed
5 million?
No, like 5 sales.
Oh, okay. So you guys are building it, yeah.
They're building.
So when you get to 20 transactions, you're gonna get to that point where you're like, hey, I think I need to get some help somewhere.
Sophia and I say 25.
Yeah,
Admin.
yeah, 20 to 30.
Because I don't think you can highly service more than 25. That's just my.
You can't. Yeah. So when you get to that, when you start getting that building that up, you need to start leveraging. Good thing is you got 2 of you guys, so it's you guys would probably more, Okay, so you got 1 of you. So yeah, so when you're getting about that, hitting that 20 range, you need to start trying to find a back end person. Don't hire another agent. You need your back end first. Never hire, admin before back end. Follow the MREA.
And you know what? Sometimes they said at the leadership camp, if you can afford it, you don't even have to wait till the 20 transactions. That's what Gary Keller said. Like if
It gives you freedom.
If you can afford some leverage now, then do it.
It
But
gives you
admin
freedom.
first. Like if you can't afford that part-time leverage, it's only gonna take you further, faster, sooner. And that's like the most interesting takeaway too. I was like, okay, wow, okay. That's
And
part-
it's true.
It's true, because I think it's part of MRA too. It's like if you have the money, it's there.
I waited too long, and when I hired Lisa in 2014, it was awful. She said that she almost quit, and I had no idea, but she said it was so awful. And I was trying to give her all these jobs and stuff. So then slowly I started taking jobs away. And what I did is I took this board and I wrote everything I do. And then I told my two admin, you write your name on what you're going to take from me. And that my coach had me do that. And so that helped to figure out what they like and what they're better at and so forth. So
This has been incredible, right? Like this is.
well, I hope you guys got good information.
Yeah, some more questions you guys can.
You charge a TC fee for your admin?
No, I pay your salary.
Salary.
Just $30 an hour.
So she said,
Buyers or sellers a TC fee?
No, I did not. I think that's really rude. Honestly, I mean, everybody's to each their own. I think it's really rude to charge a buyer for TC fee because we get paid a lot of money to do our job. I mean, that's just my opinion, but everybody does their business their own way. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. Like it or not.
but you're paying your salary instead of the per file 400 to just make
Right.
you more money, and that person's already working at payroll, knows how to communicate with you.
And they do stuff my way. I'm not sharing them with other people. They're only mine.
That's a good takeaway, right?
Oh,
You
no.
have your admin come to the office every day?
No, she doesn't have to anymore. So she gets the job done virtually. She used to come in. I used to require her. She used to be in every single day for years. And then we scaled it down to before COVID, like Mondays and Fridays. So we could touch base at the beginning of the week, touch base at the end of the week. Because she's got kids, so she wants to work at home. She works at her own time. As long as she gets the job done, and that's one thing one of my coaches told me is she gets the job done. Doesn't matter where she's working as long as she's getting the job done. So.
And that's a fact. You're blessing so many lives too. I know that she's traveling now. And
Alicia made more money in 2 months than she did at her job. She worked at the county, and also she worked for Edison for like 2 years, but her whole life she worked at the county, and she made more in 2 months than she ever has. So
yeah. So this is like, that's the biggest thing too, is like Tonja has a big heart. She gives back a lot, is really heavily involved in the community. It is such an honor. If you guys stick around, ask her questions, please do. I know we have to wrap this up. Talk to her one-on-one, ask her questions, because she's doing it at a really high level. And one thing, even though you say you're unorganized, all this stuff, you're really,
I'm a mess.
you're always gonna feel like that, but then some of us look at you and want to get to that even level.
my
So,
personal life's a
you're
mess. My
organized.
work's on point.
You're an organized myself. You know?
I don't know.
Yes. But her business is really organized. You really have a great structure. You
Yeah.
have on the
Learning.
business side of things, even though you feel overwhelmed, it's seamless. And I haven't heard any complaints about people that have done transactions that I know with you. So it's seamless
I don't know if you guys
communication.
know this. Redfin, do you know that they rate us? I didn't know that until yesterday either. So Redfin, you know how Redfin agents show our listings all the time? They have in their system, they rate the listing agent. So the Redfin agent said, oh yeah, you got really great ratings. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, oh, all the comments, you're accommodating, you answer your phone, you show up, you show the listing, like you're informational, you know everything about Norco. I'm like, really? I had no idea that they rate us as agents. So keep that in mind. I did not know that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I had no clue. So I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, well, what did they say? Did they say I cussed or anything? She said, no, it's all good stuff. So
Well, you guys, let's give her a big round of applause.
you guys. Oh, I got this.
Thank you so much for being our guest
Oh, I
and for
got a
coming
little card.
here.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
If you guys want to ask her any questions,